Hello, Sun Babes! I hope all you guys are doing so great. As I was editing this video that you're about to watch, I was listening over to what I was saying, and I just want to put a disclaimer out there. If you get triggered from maybe childhood trauma talk and discussion, there is talk about abuse and neglect. So if that's gonna trigger you, just maybe don't watch this video. Also, if you know me personally and you want to do something on behalf of like my safety, or you just think that like I'm not okay at home or whatever, please don't do anything. This video is not a cry for help. This video is more about kind of bringing awareness to our own emotions and our own inner world, and feeling connected with each other through pain. I also tried to keep this video very limited with what I was sharing in regards to like personal information, and so keep that in mind when you're listening to me talk in this video. But yeah, I just want to share that with you, Sun Babes. Thank you for watching and clicking on the video, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy.
Sun Babes. I've been reading this book, Sun Babes. It's called A Little Life. I got this book while I was in Pai in Thailand, and I kind of just wanted to pick up a book just to read on my travels because like I'm out here for so long, and there's gonna be moments like right now where I'm more isolated and secluded to myself, and so I need to have some kind of outlet for my mind, but I want to be off my phone a bit more. You know, I want to be more present. It's just really easy to spend a lot of your time on your phone just because it's almost like just a habit. It's like a tick. And so I want to buy a book. I don't know anything about it. I just saw it in the bookstore and I was like, I really like, I kind of fuck with this. Like my energy was gravitating towards the book's energy, and I just had like this gravitational pull to buy this book and to read this book. It's kind of a story about 4 young adults going through life and like their friendship dynamic, their dynamic within themselves and with peers that they meet along the way. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just 21. I just turned 21 in January. So I'm just starting my 20s, honestly, and I feel like, you know, being out here alone, traveling so many different countries right now, at 21, by myself, it's a very, my mind feels so expanded every single day, because I just feel like I have different viewpoints of life and of myself every single day. It's a blessing, but it's very overwhelming, you know? So like this book, I feel like I had this pull towards it because it was talking about just these young adults in their lives, and it was just a story about it. And you know, each of the main characters, there's 4 main characters, but there's like one main character. But each main character you can kind of relate to, like their personality in certain ways, just because like, you know, we're complex people. We have very vast personalities ourselves, so it's really easy to relate to all the characters in this book. But there's one character in the book, he's like the main character. Where I'm at in the book right now, it's kind of talking about his family dynamics and just his upbringing. While reading the book, it's been making me be a bit more retrospective about my childhood and my upbringing and kind of the way it has shaped me to be who I am now. I kind of want to talk a little bit about, you know, childhood and your upbringing a little bit in this episode, because at the moment in time, I'm having a lot of interesting family situations. I'm very blessed to be out in the other side of the world right now because, you know, if I was home right now, I would be very overwhelmed and very depressed. Very depressed. That's kind of a big reason why I left home in the first place, is because I was like, you know what, I want to travel. I want to explore the world. And I was getting so overwhelmed with everything happening at home that I was just like, I need an escape. And a lot of people told me don't travel to escape, which is like, they're right. They're so right, because like midway through my travels, I was getting really, really depressed and really suicidal, because I had so much inner healing I had to do, and traveling or doing anything that gives you kind of an escape isn't proper healing. While I was out here on the other side of the world experiencing these beautiful countries, I couldn't escape the heavy feeling inside of myself, and that's just because I had so much inner work to do, right? But you can't control the way you feel sometimes, and you can't control what happens in life. And sometimes when things are overwhelming, you just have to like step back and be like, hey, I'm feeling kind of sad. I have to experience sadness right now. So that's kind of just what happened. At this moment in time, my mom and my stepdad, they're getting a divorce. I don't know what to do. Sometimes they text me, they tell me the situation, and I feel like a weird sense of responsibility towards their emotions. They've gone through a lot, and I feel like my family, like even my sister almost, I feel like my family kind of sees me as like a rock. Like I'm very emotionally stable, they see in myself. And so, you know, when things go south, they kind of talk to me about like their problems and their emotions and everything. And you know, I don't think that's a bad thing, because I'm now 21. Like I'm an adult now. Barely though. I'm barely an adult, but I'm older now. It's not like a bad thing for your parents to, you know, be more vulnerable with you about their actual emotions, you know, because they're not really taking care of you as much anymore. Like, you know, they're human just like you, just like me. But it's a little bit overwhelming having to deal with what's happening at home, and helping ease their emotions and everything, and trying to ease my own emotions because I feel like I'm all over the place. Your 20s are just so like, they're a time for your emotions to be all over the place, and you're confused. You're like, what the fuck? Like, why do I feel this way towards certain things? Why do I feel this way towards certain people? Why do I have whiplash of emotion every single fucking day? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. And it's just like, that's just what happens when you're in your 20s. I kind of want to talk about childhood traumas or whatever. Talking about this might bring ease to whoever's listening. I think it's really easy to isolate yourself and your emotions from the world when you're hurting. Really easy to be like, damn, no one knows what the fuck I'm going through. But it's like, no, we all go through this shit. We all do. It's really important to know that you're not alone. And I think me making this video might help bring community. I hope. I don't know, but I feel like I need to make this video. Maybe I'll look back on this video that I make when I'm older and think like, wow, I'm really happy I made this vulnerable video talking about my childhood, you know? So, you know, when I was really young, my mom separated from my biological dad. My dad lives in Hawaii now, and I'm actually gonna meet him on my way back home. I'm gonna stop in Hawaii. I'm gonna meet him for the first time since I was 8 years old. When I was 8 years old, I met him once. I'm really excited to meet him again because I feel like it's gonna bring wholeness, like some sort of wholeness back into myself. I don't know. I'm just really excited to meet him. Like when I was a baby, my mom left my dad. They were not good together. And so growing up, I never really had a dad. I never had a father figure. Also growing up, my mom, she was never present. I have one sister. My mom was never really present in my sister and my life physically because she worked, but she didn't work that much. I talked to my uncle a little bit recently, and he told me that she only worked like a few hours a day, and she would get money from like my grandma and my uncle a lot. So like my mom would work, but she didn't work much. She would just be drinking a lot, and so she never like hung out or really spent any time with me and my sister. Growing up, that never really stuck out to me. I never really thought of that as weird. And honestly, still to this day, I don't think of it as weird. I'm just so used to it. I'm kind of used to just being by myself and doing my own thing by myself. That's kind of the dynamic I had with my mom and, you know, no father figure. When my mama was present in our lives, she was always like drunk, you know? And if she wasn't drunk, then she was pretty violent. I remember a lot of things she would do to my sister. I would have to watch just because I was there. Because I was young, I couldn't do my own thing. I had to be around them because I was so young. I remember having a lot of bad memories in cars because like my mom, she would drive, she would be drunk, and she would be violent. I remember a lot of the times my sister would be hurting so much, and she would ask me, or she would be yelling like, "Why aren't you doing this to Lanny?" Or she would yell at me saying like, "Lanny, do something." And I remember just being like really young and being paralyzed by fear and confusion. Like I didn't understand why this was happening and why my mom would do such things to my sister and I. So from a young age, I hung out alone a lot because being alone was just very safe, I guess. From a young age, I always I was always singing and dancing outside when I was really young because that was kind of like my escape, I guess. I hated being at home. I hated being at home because it was not a good place to be at home. Whenever I was home, I loved to sing and I loved to dance, and I would like listen to my music and I'd watch the pop stars on the TV and I would pretend to be the pop stars because I was just like, I loved to just sing and dance. It was literally what gave me life ever since I was so young. So that was kind of like my young childhood. We also were very poor, like we just weren't financially well off at all. Now my grandma, she immigrated to Canada to give my mom and my uncle a better life and more opportunity for money and everything. But my mom had me and my sister very young, and she just never was able to financially support herself. So growing up, we were not very wealthy at all. We were very poor. I'm really happy that I grew up like that because I have a very big appreciation for everything I get in life now. That being said, you know, growing up, I was never really able to do anything because we just didn't have any money to do anything. But after school, I didn't have like the opportunity to do any sports or any clubs or anything. Also, we didn't have money for food, so, and I would also like ask my friends for food a lot because like we just didn't have food. So growing up like that was very like, it shaped me a lot, and I still have a lot of like, I guess, belief towards money. I still have a lot of that inside of myself still. Like I'm still pretty, I guess, cheap or stingy maybe, just because I'm like, I've learned from a young age that like you have to be responsible with your money. Traveling for a long time has kind of opened my mind a little bit to my belief towards money. I'm not as afraid to spend my money anymore, and like I genuinely feel like I'm pushing boundaries that I set within myself towards finances on this trip, which I'm so thankful for. Like this traveling excursion is not just about having fun and partying. It's really truly about challenging myself and growing as an individual, because I really don't want to stay in negative cycles that I put myself in. Yeah. It was just a very scary, like, growing up, I just was very scared a lot. I remember going to sleep at night sometimes and being so afraid to fall asleep because I thought my mom would, like, hurt me. And if you're listening to this, if you know me personally, it's okay. Please don't question anything right now. It's just, you know, being so young and not really having an understanding of what's happening, like, that's kind of just where your mind goes. Like, I thought my mom would, like, kill me. Because it was just really scary at home. It was really scary. Then my mom met my stepdad. They met when I was 10 years old. And I'm 21 now. And for the duration that they've known each other, my mom has, like, abused my stepdad insanely. She also never stopped abusing my sister. There's a weird feeling inside of myself that questions why she never, like, abused me. I feel so guilty because, you know, I grew up watching my mom do what she was doing to my sister and to my stepdad. And I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do because I just was so afraid every day and every night. I didn't want to get hurt. I didn't want to escalate the situation further. My mom, she would, like, smash things, and she would slam doors, and she would yell so loud and scream, and she would, like, hit people. I would hide. I was so paralyzed from fear every single night. And it was just like I feel guilty because I don't know why she never hurt me. When my sister moved out of the house, it was just me and my stepdad. And my mom, she needed, like, someone to hurt. I don't know. So I think she was starting to, like, turn on to me now that my sister was gone. She was starting to turn on to me. She started to say really hurtful things to me. And she, like, had to hold herself back from hitting me a lot. Or not a lot. There's, like, a few times that she held herself back from hitting me. When that started to happen, that was when it, like, came into my brain. I was like, yo, I need to get out of here. Like, I need to travel. I need to leave. So that's kind of what happened. You know, I don't want to talk too much detail into what was happening in my life and in my family. I don't want to talk bad on anyone in my family at all. I have unconditional love for my mama. I don't want to be around her. I don't. I've learned while being out here, I've learned that my nervous system was so fucked up, and I'm learning to heal my nervous system so much. And in that learning, I've come to the conclusion that I don't want to be around that woman. I don't. But I love my mom because she's my mom, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't have her. I'm so confused on the inside a lot because I feel guilt. I feel a lot of guilt for the fact that I couldn't help my sister or my stepdad more. I feel guilt a lot for having to call the cops on my mom many times. I feel like she has resentment towards me now because of that. I feel guilt for the fact that I'm able to experience these beautiful countries now, and my sister, she went a different route in life. The direction she's going in, I personally think that it's not good. And I feel guilty for the fact that I'm out here. and she's not, because I wish she was. I think my sister is probably someone that, like, I just love my sister so much. I love my sister. And I want her to be out here. I want her to come out here. I wish one day she will be able to experience the world, like the physical world, like this. I pray that she'll be able to experience this. My sister helped me get through a lot of my sister helped me get through a lot of life, you know? I also think my sister definitely caused me a lot of confusion and sadness. But, you know, I also think that I just perceived it that way, and my sister is just trying her best the way I'm trying my best. And so I don't hold anything against her. The same way I don't hold anything against my mama. And I don't hold anything against my stepdad or my actual dad either. I just, you know, I feel very healed out here, and I'm healing every day, but I feel so, like, comfortable in my body now. I feel like I can be myself without having to play a character. Back home, it's so weird, because back home, like, the second I would leave my house, you know, if I was just out and about in town, or if I was hanging out with friends, I was a totally different person than who I was when I was in my house. Back home, I felt like I was constantly playing a character everywhere I went. When I was in my house, I had to play this sort of character in order to stay, like, safe, I guess. I feel like I'm myself now. And that's why this show, this YouTube, I feel like this YouTube is very healing for me right now. I want to be me. I want this YouTube to be me. And who I am, I'm just me, I'm just this. I'm not anything special, I'm just talking about my feelings. I'm extremely sensitive. To anyone who has experienced a lot of trauma in their life, I really genuinely advise anyone who holds a lot of trauma inside to go on like a 2 to 4 month trip solo. Meet people, talk to people, push your boundaries, push your beliefs, push the version of yourself that you believe you are, and become the version of yourself that you actually are. Yeah, I wish my sister was out here a lot. But she will. She will travel one day. She's watching this. You're watching this. Save some money. Go to fucking Mexico. Like, go on a trip. Go on a trip for yourself one day. And you'll feel so healed. I know you will. I think that's all I'll say in this video. I don't want to share very personal details just because I think it's disrespectful to my family. And it's a little too emotional for me to share. I feel like I'll cry. That's all I'll share in this video. But thank you, Sun Babes, for listening. I hope this video was able to bring a bit of comfort to whoever was watching. But I hope you Sun Babes have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.